A very good morning I bid to my respective lecturer and my fellow classmate. My name is Chef Adrian with the matrix number of 269897 and I'm from the group named Dextrix Girls. So today, I'll be presenting about the infographic on the short film regarding business ethics that our group have already prepared. The complete view of our group infographic is as shown here. The infographic is divided into 5 parts, which is Synopsis, Ethical Issue, Ethical Theory, Ethical Suggestion, and lastly, the Lesson Learned. So firstly, I'll start by introducing the synopsis of this microfilm. This film tells a story about an unethical businessman. There are 2 lead characters in this microfilm, which is Tim and Johnny. Johnny just bought a house and invited Tim over to renovate, and Tim readily agreed. Johnny was very dissatisfied when he received a high price quotation from Tim for renovation and then went to talk to Tim. The content of the conversation was about Johnny referring to the wrong color of goods in Tim's order and also the low quality of the goods. So Johnny requested to replace the stock, but Tim ordered the products accordingly to the contract. In the end, Johnny tried to persuade Tim to use inferior materials to lower the quota. Luckily, Tim refused to do so and reported Johnny to the ICAC. In the end, Tim impresses the other restaurant managers about his renovation craftsmanship, and thus, the manager offered new projects to Tim. Next, I'll go in depth about ethical issues that can be found in this short film. The ethical issue for this movie is using inferior materials for renovating the restaurant. This is because the businessman, Johnny, wants to get more profit by persuading his partner, namely Tim, to lower the quota by replacing using the cheaper materials. How can we say that using inferior materials for renovating the restaurant is unethical? This is because Johnny wants to make a deal with Tim to charge a higher price by using cheaper materials. We know that this is unethical as it is considered as a business fraud. Basically, there must be a contract signed between contractors and clients which binds them to delivering a particular quality requirements and specifications. To deliver less than that is a form of thief to gain more profit. By giving a client a poor quality material, it has resulted in building collapsing and even killing people. All the construction project aims to build a building which are safe, stable, and last long. By cutting corners with cheaper, poor quality building materials and safety alternatives, resulting in decreasing the safety of the building. This also has a negative impact on the stability of the building itself, which will bring a huge implication for human safety. Hence, it is unethical to use inferior materials for any construction project as it will cause to building collapsing and people getting injured or even killed. As for ethical theory, under the rational model of a business organization, this short film has shown that there are conflicts of interest when running their business. Extorting or accepting a commercial bribe obviously creates a conflict of interest. A commercial bribe is something of value that is given or offered to an agent or employee by a person outside the agent's or employee's company who intends to lead the employee to deal favorably with that person. In the short film, it clearly shows that Johnny had offered advantages to the agent, who is Tim, in exchange for work-related favors. Tim might have broken the law and is considered guilty for commercial bribery if Tim's offer an unreasonable low rate to Johnny in exchange for a loose supervision in the renovation and contracts for future projects. Accepting or offering gifts may or may not be ethical. For example, the agent Tim who treats Johnny to a dinner can be misinterpreted as attempts to bribe if offering extravagant meals or frequent entertainment. Moving on, there are a few suggestions suggested to overcome the ethical issues. The first ethical suggestion would be to implement anti-bribery and anti-corruption policies in the workplace. This is is to make sure that the company staff understands the company rules and expectation around bribery and corruption. They need to know what is and what isn't acceptable concerning about gifts, hospitality, donations, sponsorship, and political donations. The company needs to provide regular bribery training to maintain awareness. Alongside with training, establish processes that helps employees to remember the do's and don'ts such as checklists and travel guidelines. Staff need to understand that any gifts or hospitality they receive must have a legitimate business purpose, be proportionate, and be declared in the company gifts and hospitality register. It is to be sure to be clearly outlined what is meant by legitimate and proportionate and never leave it open to interpretation. The next ethical suggestion would be to ensure gifts and hospitality meets the criteria such as having a legitimate business purpose, transparent and reasonable. Any gifts or hospitality a person gives or receives must have a legitimate business purpose, be proportionate, be transparent in which it is declared in the company's gifts and hospitality register. Besides that, report bribery and corruption concerning promptly is also one of the ethical suggestions suggested. If staff have witnessed or suspect bribery, they need to know how and to whom to report it. They need to be able to speak up to their manager or report it through the company established whistleblowing channel. It is also should be made clear to the employees that it is not their job to investigate their concern. They should leave the investigation to the appropriate channel instead. Bribery is a very significant problem that can result in huge fines for companies and individuals and even imprisonment. Don't let this be a reality for your business. Based on this video, there are 2 lessons that we could learn. Firstly, we need to say no to bribery and corruption. I'd like to explain a bit about bribery in this business ethics. Any person who offers an advantage to an employee in exchange for work-related favor is guilty of bribery. Also, for your information, according to the law, accepting or offering bribes in excuse of trade custom or practice is no defense against corruption charges. Lastly, please think first about a situation and not your ambition. Meaning that if one offers an unreasonable low rate to you in exchange for a future collaboration, you might have broken the law. Then, you'll be caught in jail, which will negatively affect your future. Hence, I've come to the end of the presentation and that's all from me. Thank you very much and have a nice day ahead. Thank you.